This next game is my favorite look on the card, and I think I have to snap it up while it's at 11.5. I just don't see it staying at 11.5 under any circumstances. Cardinals, Niners, 67 Fahrenheit, sunny, 8 miles per hour wind. Donnie, the Niners are beaten up. Beaten up on offense. No Sanders, no Kittle, no Breda. On defense, no Quan, no DJ Jones, no Ronnie Blair. Too many points. Too many guys hurt. How are they giving us 11.5? I don't see this sticking around. I think I need to take this number now. I need to take the Cardinals at plus 11.5. Donnie Rightside, Cardinals, Niners.
Can't fault you, Jimmy. Can't fault you, because the one thing that we know about Arizona is, hey, again, you lean on this coaching staff. They have these kids ready to play. This is a young head coach, a young quarterback, and each and every week, even leveling up in competition, they're stepping up to the mic. Now, hey, you could argue San Francisco really pummeled them on Thursday Night Football, and outside of that one late touchdown to Isabella, that's a double-digit winner. But if you flip it over to this environment, you're right, Jimmy, because in that original football game, Emmanuel Sanders was running wild in that game. You see him pull up lame in the second quarter with a rib injury. If he stays down, how about if George Kittle, who we don't know if he's coming back, you have a bone bruise and a knee, he's up in the press box, wobbling, like holding on to the window up there, whatever it was. If he doesn't come back, this is no longer an elite level offense. And I know Seattle was absolutely crazy on the front four, getting a lot of pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo. But if you take any team's two best weapons out, they're not going to be as effective. You know the defense is going to come to play from San Francisco. They're an impressive defensive team. But when you're looking at this game overall, sort of the same things Arizona can do that Seattle did. Now, look, Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. But if you have a dynamic, athletic quarterback, yeah, he's going to take sacks because San Francisco comes after him. But if you can escape the pocket and buy a little bit extra time, you can get after that secondary a little bit. I agree with you early in the week because there was 13s out on the board when it first opened up, now down to 11.5. Hey, well, Donnie, bounce back spot. They lost last week. Now they're going to be angry about this. But hey, there's one way to lose, and then there's one way to lose and get injured at the same time. Let's also not forget, damn near their entire running back crew got hurt in that football game. I think it's one of those where San Francisco says, you know what? Let's play really good defense. Let's beat this team down. I don't know if they can get the total, though, to be honest with you. I think Arizona's going to be live in this game, not to win the football game, but hanging around that number all game long here, Jimmy.
I agree. And this one is just screaming at me. Torino says Staley was horrible. Staley and McGlinchey were turnstiles. I mean, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. And the Niners then could not run the ball. And my cap was Staley and McGlinchey were coming back. And that was going to allow the Niners to run the ball. And it cost me $400. I got 181, 82 back on the over, but man, 2-0 in NBA, 1-0 in NHL, and I give it back on 4 prop bets. Made me very, 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 very upset. Sean Mick says 11.5. It's a bit disrespectful to the Cards. They are a very hard team. Nobody blowing them out. Jeff Billings says, Jimmy, I hate to say it, but I agree. Take the points with the Cardinals. Tomino says the injury to Sanders changed the whole game. With Kill out, they couldn't lose him. Farsh Asami likes the over. And Robert Weimer says Cards play tough against the Niners. Too many points, but the under. Wow. Cardinals have been keeping in game, says Nilo. And this is a somewhat short week. Tom Marino says Cards have been covering with backdoors all year. Pie Guy just grabbed the 11.5. Box First says Jimmy G on the slide. Take the points. Yeah, I know that losing Manny really hurt the Niners with Kittle out, but there were some passes that were hitting wide receivers' hands, but he missed some receivers badly. And even that first week when he looked terrible, I don't know, 2 pick sixes or whatever, I was not concerned. I was like, he's going to get it together. I guess coming off this injury, should we give him another year before we really judge him? Because last night was the first time that I was like, oh my God, Jimmy G might not be the guy for the Niners. What do you think of Jimmy G moving forward, Donnie?
I still like him because he's got an elite level head coach that's going to put him in the best possible position. And I like to say a lot of quarterbacks don't look elite. I mean, if we go after and say, the watch it. You saw the numbers on Dak Prescott when he doesn't have Amari Cooper. Now, Emmanuel Sanders isn't Amari Cooper, but you also took George Kittle as a dominant weapon out there. That is your safety valve. When you saw him get a little bit skitterish in the pocket, that's when George Kittle's wide open for a 7-yard catch. Oh, look, Jimmy G looks great. Now that he doesn't have that, it's no surprise to me. And that defensive front four was absolutely eating the lunch of San Francisco. So he had that already in the back of his head. But, we panic a little bit about the 49ers now. If that young kid makes a kick in overtime, we go, damn. Look at those 49ers on their way to an unbeaten season. They're incredible. But it's funny how the narrative changes over a kicker missing a kick.
It sure does. I could not believe that my rushing props couldn't hit with 14 minutes of overtime. Oh, God, it was a real tough watch last night and probably hit the bottle a little too hard as well.